views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Astral Insider Show, your portal for adventure, insight, and growth with host Fernando Albert. Fernando, world-renowned lucid dreamer, astral projectionist, psychic medium, brings his passionate energy healing to the airwaves on TransformationTalkRadio.com. As a vessel for Spirit to provide all the information you need, Fernando opens the portal for your personal transformation as you join him on this incredible journey within the greatness of the astral plane. Receive answers to many of life's questions, remove roadblocks, and tour the astral realm. This show expands your life in ways you've never imagined. Listeners, get ready for a keen soul exploration and the journey of your life. Now here is your host, Fernando Albert.
Welcome everyone to the Astral Insider. How are you all doing? How are those astral projections going? Well, we have already been talking for quite a while, for several shows. If you have been following me since show 1, thank you very much. You know there is a lot into the astral realm, and there are still a few more interesting things that we have yet to be touch basing upon. For instance, today in this show, we are going to be talking about using astral projection like a tool. And also, we are going to be talking about death, which is something that we briefly talked about on our last show. And it is a very interesting topic and something significant I like to share. If you have missed the prayer show or any other show, you can go ahead and listen to them. You can go to Fernando.space, and over there you can head over radio and you can listen to the prayer shows. I'm sure you're going to love them. So, a quick reminder from what happened in our last show. We were touch basing on making sure that you make a little bit of changes in your life that will contribute to astral projection. You know, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 60 years ago, maybe it was somewhat true that in order for one to be able to get to project, you had to spend years meditating and get yourself lost in the mountains. You know, it was almost as crazy as that. One reason, it's at a galactic level. Earth is moving forward. Her vibrations are expanding. We are in the age of Aquarius. We are moving forward, so the planes are getting closer together, and taking action on all of these aspects of beyond the physical life becomes easier and more accessible. This doesn't mean that it will be as easy as downloading a phone app. You have to put some dedication and you have to put some effort. But it is true that by adding a few changes in your life, you can easily increase the chances to not only progress faster if you are pursuing or seeking an astral projection discipline, but also you may have spontaneous astral projections easier. And if you are listening to this, I'm pretty sure that you would love to have one, or you already had one. And if you had one or more, I'm sure you love them. So very few aspects, of life that making little changes will bring big progress. For instance, remember, go easy on the electronics when you are attempting to astral project. Like, don't be all day on electronics, especially not around the time that you want to practice. Remember to give some time for your mind to quiet and to get used and relaxed to a lower activity. Remember, in order to be in the astral projection stage, your brain needs to be in alpha or theta at a brainwave level. When you are thinking, when you are reading a book, watching television, using your phone, working, you are on beta. When you're awake, you're mostly on beta. So So it will help yourself at a almost brain chemistry level to lower down the use of this, especially around the moment you plan to project. If you're going to project late in the afternoon, sure, you can go ahead and use it in the morning, but, have some balance in there. And also some awareness, like give some validation to your dreams, some focus to your dreams and to what happens to you at night, beyond that you had a good sleep or not, or whatever, But also give some importance to dreams, like make them valuable in your life. As a lucid dreaming teacher myself, I can tell you all that dreams can bring magnificent wisdom into our lives, as well as giving us a huge break, obviously, because of the sense of freedom and with the ability to be able to go here and there. But even if you don't get into the lucid dreaming, still it's good to pay attention to your dreams. We all have nice dreams. We all can have a spontaneous lucid dream. And when you're focused on that, your consciousness will be more aware about, wait a minute, where am I? Am I awake? Am I asleep? And on one of those, you might be in the actual astral plane by a spontaneous projection, and then get to realize, oh gosh, I'm out of my body. This is fantastic, So it's very important for you to have some focus on that, on what happened last night, Put some thought into it. Even if you wake up and you remember nothing, at least put some thought in, like, well, I had a good rest. I felt I woke up feeling refreshed. I felt happier, might have a dream that was positive. I can't remember, but at least I woke up with a smile, and when you pay attention to that, little by little, you're going to be getting more and more, and then it will be easier for you to practice into the astral projection. Then reading about it, it's also very significant, very important. Listening to this show, you can go ahead and read many blogs on astral projection. The Astral Insider has one, of course, in Fernando.space. You can also add meditation to your life, which you can also find over there, that they will bring a lot of benefits to you, not only at an astral projection level, but at many, many levels, as we have talked on prior shows. So, astral projection, it can be used as a tool, as you know. I've been talking prior that you could connect with your spirit guides. You could connect with your Akashic records. You could even connect to loved ones in spirit. But sometimes maybe you want to drop all of the labels or all of the widths and just realize that you are in the astral plane. You're online, okay? And you're online with a blank Google page ready to go wherever you want to. So don't limit yourself only to, the Akashic records or the guides. Because let's say it's a smarter Google, as per se, that always knows where you need to go and always will take you to the right place. Maybe you want to Google whatever, and then it takes you to whatever.com. Okay, yeah, that's where I wanted to go. But maybe you were wondering if whether doing this or that can affect in one way or another, or any other results. It doesn't really matter. But what is significant is that sometimes you don't need to know if you need to access the records or to connect with your guides. You are surrounded by a higher consciousness than what is our human consciousness. So sometimes just going to the astral and setting the intentions to receive messages and to find insight, it is something quite fabulous, okay? It's a very good way, sort of allowing, in a passive way, the universe to guide you. Because still, even if you are having an astral projection experience, of course, you are in control. You have free will. You decide what to do and when and how. Well, maybe you won't decide to go back to your body and yet you go back, but that's another mechanism. But you have your own free will. So if you set intention, I'm in the astral plane, and I really need guidance. And maybe you don't even know what guidance you need. Maybe you want a word of inspiration. You want something. Yes, ask for it. You are the intention, okay, I would like to receive something that will bring goodness to my life. And it may be something totally unexpected. Maybe you are flown back to a dream and doing something that will leave a mark in your life. Or maybe you hear a name or or a word or something, and you wake up with that memory and you look it up, or you understand is a solution for something, or the person that you need to call to reach your promotion. It can be multiple things, but that's why it is good to allow the universe to guide you in this way. So going to the astral plane, kind of like using it like a crystal ball, sort of speaking, it's a very good thing. So it's really, really good as a problem-solving tool, okay? It's very good as a problem-solving tool because the same way you can find answers, you can also play it kind of like in a movie, sort of saying, okay, I have the solution. The solution is this tiny DVD. I am going to put it inside this DVD player and see what's the outcome of this solution. Okay, it will not be 4K or it won't be as a TV quality, and it will go in a very hard way to explain, but the way that the flow of energy goes in the astral plane. What matters is that you will understand it. And when you come back to your body, you will also understand it and have a figure of how you need to be, in what direction you need to be moving forward in order to resolve this situation or receiving this answer, or maybe meeting with someone. It will depend on your desire, okay? Also, it can be very good for personal practice or spiritual practice. Lucid dreaming can be used a lot for this also. But when one gets well suited in astral projection, say you have the mental plane. The mental plane, as you can recall from prior shows, it is a plane of existence where our thoughts project into instantaneous reality, obviously in the mental plane. And the kicker here is to, for instance, we have talked in the past to manifest and materialize, use this plane to bring this visualization into the physical plane, and then it will slowly materialize. But also it can be to make that, to play that movie, to say, okay, let's see what's the outcome for this, how it's going to feel, what's going to happen. And you will get something, an emotion and feeling, guidance, and you will see, okay, this will bring me forward in a very good way, or maybe this will not be the right move to go forward, okay? You will see that with practice, it will become easier and easier. We are going to talk a bit more about one more thing that you can do in the astral plane before we jump fully into talking about the astral plane and death. But that will happen right after a little break.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show, talk radio to thrive by. I am so thrilled to be talking to all of you. We have got talk radio for all of us. Are you ready and willing and able to accept all of the abundance you can muster up in your life? Yeah! Check us out at drpatshow.com, transformationtalkradio.com, transformationradio.fm. Oh my goodness.
Do you know how powerful your thoughts and beliefs are in determining your experience of your life? Is it really true that simply by changing some of the words you use in your day-to-day language, that you can change your life? I'm Megan Edge. Join me on Playing on the Edge, Radical Change with Ease, with my co-host Dr. Pat on Transformation Talk Radio. I look forward to seeing you there.
To find out more about Megan Edge, visit her website at meganedge.ca.
Ignite your inner magic on Grow Your Soul Radio with Jane Matanga. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as host Jane Matanga explores how to overcome your fears to help you gain the inspiration you need to awaken your path to joy. Learn the way to life mastery and the enlightened path with Grow Your Soul Radio. For more information on Jane Matanga and her work, visit enlightened-path.com.
Are you ready to branch out? Take a leap of faith. Then tune in to Get Rooted Radio with Erica Gifford Mills on TransformationTalkRadio.com every second and fourth Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific to equip, empower, and enlighten yourself. Erica will energize and excite you to power up your passionate dream that sets your soul on fire. So, Get fearlessly ready and get powerfully rooted in your yes to live it up, love it up, and let it go to ignite the life you deserve. Visit GetRootedRadio.com and tune in.
Knowledge Book Radio with Marge Fatasic has a special gift for everyone out there. To receive 3 chapters of the Knowledge Book as a special gift, send your email to mmjp99@gmail.com. That's M as in Mary, JP99@gmail.com now to receive this fabulous, fabulous gift of the Knowledge Book.
A word of caution, if you prefer the status quo and you are not interested in improving every aspect of your life, this book will trigger the shift out of you. The Truth is Funny, Shift Happens is available now. Author Colette Steffen brings the powerful knowledge and life-changing energy and empowerment from the radio airwaves to the pages of her new book. To get your copy in paperback or ebook, visit thetruthisfunny.com today.
Welcome back to the Astral Insider. We were talking about using the astral plane and astral projection like a tool. And well, pretty much what we were talking about, it's a huge roster of things that you can already do. The thing I wanted to mention in addition of this, that you can use also this tool to help other people. Of course, you are going to need their permission because, as you know, from prior shows, you cannot go ahead and just spy on someone or just jump into their Akashic records and pull information. You can't. But if they give you permission, if they ask you for help with that, then you, of course, can manage to lend a hand to someone. Maybe someone is seeking for something in their life, something significant, and you feel, hey, maybe I want to lend you a hand, let me check the astral plane. And maybe, many years ago, before I even started to do readings, I would think that that's how it would work, to go to the astral plane, to pull a piece of information and to come back. And at some degree, it's how it is done. Yes, that right now, most readers, we are conscious while doing it, or in a semi-level of trance. When you are astral projecting, you are in complete level of trance. But still, regardless of you having the abilities or not, through the astral plane, everyone can get a piece of wisdom to be able to help somebody else. And it goes in the same way that it would go for you. You set the intention once you are out in the astral plane to be able to help this person with this specific energy. So you're really thinking, yes, I want to help Josh. And as you think of Josh in the astral plane, you're going to feel in your heart Josh, even if it's just a friend, or even if it's a boss that you dislike and you are sending him love while he sends hate to you. Doesn't matter. In the astral plane, you will feel good in your heart, and you will be able to provide any help as long as you have the permission. So it is something that maybe when you're very well suited, you have seek for your own wisdom, and you have got a lot, you can attempt and try to help others if you feel drawn to. I pretty much wanted to mention that, okay? So, we wanted to talk in this show a little bit about death. Death is a little bit of a difficult topic sometimes, but in the end, I really like to approach to death without any degree of fears and with as little degrees of judgment as possible. Obviously, no one, as far as I know, in this planet can talk at 100% level with 100% security about death. We all have some information, but we don't have the whole thing. So a lot of this is based on findings in many years, in my own experience, not with death, but obviously, but with the astral plane. And yes, at some degree with death as a psychic medium, as working with others, but in a way that, it can be constructive for everyone, for everybody to take whatever works well. In fact, I have a blog post that got quite popular and possibly also an answer over Quora. But if you head to Fernando.space and you just look up for death, then you're going to find the blog post, okay? But also it's going to be a lot about what this show is about. Because first, I wanted to share a little bit like what I personally feel for death and how death is approached at an overall level, at least in the Western civilization, First of all, at a nature level, if we go back to that level, obviously our instinct is for surviving, not for dying. So that alone can bring a natural instinct to not wanting to die. And then on top of that, as human beings, we all become aware. We all are aware at some point in our life what death means, and that it's going to be something that we all will reach at some point. Animals are unaware of that, okay? So other animals don't fear death. But unfortunately, many people do fear death. And I do feel that that's unnecessary because, first of all, if you're fearing death, you are not living in the now. For you to get the most out of this lifetime that you're experiencing right now, obviously you need to try to focus in the now as much as you can. And if we are in a society that already is hard to focus on the now, because next week there is this job promotion. This weekend the Cubs are playing. In a month I have to travel to India. And then next year my mama will come and see me. We are always thinking about future events and worrying. And sometimes we even forget to focus that while we are thinking about all of that, you are spending a beautiful time with your partner, sipping a nice drink in front of the beach or in the mountain or wherever you love it, and you're missing that beautiful moment. If we don't have enough with that already, why worrying about death? If it's something that we are in the end going to meet, allow time for death when death arrives, especially if there are no reasons for you, like a huge health concern or a sick member in your family. If there is nothing like that, there is no need for even thinking about it at a certain degree, okay? But obviously, we are bombarded by the concept with movies, with novels, with even science, trying to avoid it. Wherever religion, wherever we look at, there is always this vicious circle about death and trying to figure what's going to happen. And, in this show, obviously, it adds to all of that. But it adds to all of that in a way that it will give you something to ponder on and to see how it applies. In fact, in a little while, I'm going to also be seeing how I personally see death. Now I'm sharing more how I feel it at an overall level, okay? First of all, death, it's just a step. In the end, it's just a step. As hard as it sounds, as we go through many different lifetimes, we can see a cycle. We are born, we go through life, we die, we are a period of time in the Astral Plane, we reincarnate, so we are born again, and then eventually we die again, and that, well, some souls have been doing that for millions and millions of years, and some souls have done that for a few hundred, and everything in between. So approaching at that, it's just a step. And if we want to go technical, as you know, in the astral plane, when you astral project, you can't die because your astral body, it's connected to your physical body through a silver cord, okay? Obviously, it's an energetic cord, it's called that way more symbolically, but it's an energetic thread, so to speak, that will keep our soul anchored to our physical body. Well, when it's time to truly cross, definitely it will be as easy as pulling a thread. Boom, done, So at an astral level, it's just like that, like a snap. That's why there is no need to be, at a certain degree also so much concern. And we are going to be talking about what comes after, or what I have felt myself based on channelings, mediumship experiences, and a few more things, that makes me come up with this conclusion. But what do you find, what do you find really in the death world, in quotes, okay? That would be the fourth dimension and higher. As you know from prior shows, the fourth dimension, it's already the higher astral, So you already are going to find usually loved ones in spirit. And we are going to be talking in a little bit about what you find when you get there and what I would personally and honestly do, and my spirit guides do support me on this. But I want to explain to you guys, in my end, I have been under anesthesia. I haven't had any freaky accidents, or I haven't had any near-death experiences, so I can't talk for that part. But, based on experiences that I have had, talking to other people who did experience this, based on what is said, based on my own experiences in the astral plane, based on what I perceive when I connect with the different spirits, then I can come up with a conclusion, that when you are dead, it's like you are in the astral plane. It has a very big sense, of relief, like maybe you have tummy ache all afternoon and then you go in the evening to the toilet and you feel relieved, that, but like multiplied by 1,000, okay? A complete, absolute relief at a soul level in your entire existence. Then there will be a few things, but initially, it's how it's going to feel. It doesn't matter if you, like we all hope to, if you cross over sleeping peacefully at night, or if unfortunately it's by accident or in the hospital or whatever, okay? But in the moment of the transition, it's going to be just like letting go a helium balloon, and it's going to feel for you like you are in the astral. So this is why, I shared, and we are going to talk also about how to revoke fear from death a little more in this show. But in prior shows, I already mentioned that, okay? And the fact that you are getting to astral project, you are already navigating the astral plane. So you already are feeling a little bit, like how it feels to be, in quotes, a ghost. Okay. So at least it's not completely a mystery, a secret. You at least will have some awareness of it. Okay. So now, once we are back from the break, I am going to share how do I personally see death, something I personally have experienced, a little odd but validated, and, well, a little more about the whole topic, okay? But that will happen right after the break.
Are you done being afraid to jump into the life that's waiting for you? Are you ready for a real shift? I invite you to tune in every Tuesday with me, Tracy L, on the Tracy L. Clark Show, where we will teach you how to live your extraordinary life. At 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio, where I will provide the tools and the steps needed to help you transcend perceived limitations and move forward with an extraordinary life. For more information, visit me at tracylclark.com.
Learn to live in the light and unveil the authentic you with a time of healing radio with me, Felice Diana, on transformationtalkradio.com. Tune in every third Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific as I help listeners understand sacred fusion energy and how to connect to the spirit that fuels the very life we live. Explore the journey of spiritual transcendence and ultimately discover the path to peace, love, purpose, and wholeness. For more information, visit atimeofhealing.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Kramer of Spirit.Fire Radio, and I believe that meditation changes everything. It leads us in the direction of greater well-being, and that's a fact. I struggled with meditation for years. I understood the principles, but I found it hard to incorporate them into my everyday life. Spirit.Fire's meditation practice changed that. It's called the Practice of Living Awareness, and it's taught in 14 steps. These are 14 tools that I can use in any moment, on and off the cushion. Steps like smile, flow, and ground of being support my clarity of mind while I'm navigating the ups and downs of modern life. That's why it's called the practice of living awareness. If you'd like to add meditation to your daily experience, the practice of living awareness is free, online, and it's suited for any level of practitioner. Visit spiritfire.com for more information. And be sure to check out Spirit Fire's meditation retreats in Western Massachusetts. It's all there at spiritfire.com.
Are you ready to consistently tap into the transcendent place where your whole being is available to you and access a higher level of ability and performance physically, cognitively, emotionally, and effectively? Then join us on ClearSpeak Talk Radio with Dr. Jeanette Wolf on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Tune in every fourth Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. Go to JeanetteWolf.com, Quantum Body, to sign up for your whole health mentoring.
People often ask, what does it mean to thrive? On Thrive by Jen Radio, it means body confidence, mind fulfillment, and soul synchronicity. Create synchronicity with God and learn as Jen shares action steps and real stories that will inspire you to be unstoppable in fulfilling your purpose. Tune in live each Monday at 8 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com and visit JenniferZellup.com to thrive with Jen.
Welcome back to the Astral Insider. Well, so we were talking about my approach and the overall feeling I have for death. Now, I want to share a bit of my own personal experience in over 10 years working with other people, with their loved ones in the spirit, and with my own loved ones in the spirit, and with my own astral projections and my own thing. First of all, I have something interesting to share. Maybe it hasn't been a near-death experience or some freaky track doing crazy things like you can hear always. No, it was much more simple than that, but I happen to recall it. My whole life, I have had the memory of gaining consciousness twice in this planet. Sort of birthing twice, but not to all the way to birth twice, but to gain consciousness twice. And I would have a memory, it's very hard to describe, but a memory of somehow being on Earth inside my mom, I guess, okay? But an Earth of having that human consciousness all surrounded by me, like I was supposed. And then I did recall a room, and then like everything black out, and then I was back in the Astral Plane until then eventually I was born again. And, I would just leave it there and talking, to my mom a year ago. Well, I did learn that before I was born, they had to have an abortion. And, checking with my guides, it happened to be my own soul that, because I wanted to incarnate, with my parents. That's something that you may read actually in my blog, okay? You can find it in Fernando.space. It's you can look it up. It's a blog post about us choosing our parents because we truly choose them. But that's a different topic from today's topic, okay? Precisely, we are talking about the opposite. But, I had to bring this up because that moment that I recall between, I guess I was a fetus and then I was nothing and then I was a fetus again and I was born, and that time of being nothing again, I can also have a memory of it. And that's where the souls are residing, and in some degree, the whole process, as violent as it sounds medically, it felt completely peaceful. Okay, I just have the memory, but there wasn't anything like fearful or no, nothing at all. So I kind of wanted to share this with you because I have the feeling that more people, especially who might have been born after an abortion, might have experienced this, okay? And if you ever had this weird feeling, now you may know why. Now, what I would do myself, what are my plans as per se, as grim as it sounds, it is good to have plans for everything, And like I said, when you say, oh, next month I have to go, well, that's too far away. Next week I will have to go to Bahamas. So I'm going to get that suitcase ready, at least most of the things. And then you have like a couple of suitcases ready and you have a third one for a couple of dresses, your shoes or whatever. But you have peace of mind because that suitcase is prepared. You are going to the Bahamas a week and you have your whole wardrobe and you haven't even bought the suitcase yet. No, you are almost ready to go. You have your flight tickets, you have your suitcases, you are almost ready and you can be focused on what you are doing right now until that moment arrives. Or you can be even excited for that moment to arrive. Okay, it's good for go to Las Bahamas, but talking about death, you obviously don't need to be excited about that in one day, but it's good to have your suitcase ready or at least have an idea of what to expect there. You imagine that you're going to this weird African city, that they have to teach you how to follow through because they have specific rules. Kind of a little bit of the same, to not be completely mentally naked, okay? And, I base this again on connecting with the spirit, the guidance from my own spirit guides, and also what I've been feeling in my own travels. The first thing in my end, what I would do is to not go with the first thing that appears to you, okay? Why? Well, in here we can get into conspirations, we can get into what religion does, talking about things we don't know. So sometimes it's dangerous getting into that pathway, okay? But for one or another reason, we are going to see someone meeting us there. Initially, what I would do, since we don't have a clear understanding of what is out there, if truly there is going to be some demonic entity trying to trick us, if there is nothing as such and we are going to find a loved one directly, if our guides, which is technically what's going to happen, are going to pick us up, since you don't know, it's always best to ensure. In fact, I have always told my guides, be assured that the day I cross over, as soon as I see you in any way it can be understood, I am going to start blasting you with white light. And then my guides, what they said? They said, please do. So if they said, please do, it's significant to ensure that the level of vibration is always high, that you ensure whoever is there. It doesn't matter if your beloved puppy when you were a childhood comes, or if you are very connected to a saint and that saint comes, or your great grandma from father's side comes. Wait a moment, visualize white light around you, and then I would visualize a stream of white light going towards this being, okay? And setting the intention for you to only receive and only perceive whatever serves the highest purpose of your soul in that moment, okay? This is, for me, the golden rule. The law of the free will, it's a universal law. Spirit guides cannot bend the free will. Higher beings and spirit guides cannot bend the free will. A human being trying to bend in the free will of other human being will end in jail most of the times. So as you can see, that rule goes as the planes go up, and death is no less, okay? Yes, it's the same, and it's going to sound creepy, but some creepo out there says to the boy, oh, come here to the track. I have some candy. The kid goes, but he's on free will, Sadly, this happens to adults, not in the same setting, but a scam. Hey, let's do this. It's easy money. Let's do it. Nothing will happen. And then boom, you get to do it. You get busted and you get your back in jail. Well, obviously, we don't know really if there can be these negativities in death. But, I believe that, unfortunately, there is a lower astral realm. So at some degree, there can be a risk of this certain of negativity. Let's not make this a fairy tale. We have to approach it with the highest truth, or at least the highest consciousness. However, what is significant is precisely the law of their free will. It's the same in the astral plane, maybe you go out there and your vibrations are low, and a negative entity, for an instance, wants to connect with you and is a super hot being and wants to interact, at a more close level with you, and you say yes, and then you get your energy sapped. What happened here? Yes, it's because you went all the way with that entity, But if you go ahead, no, I don't want you to be close to me, or I don't want you, or you raise your vibrations, those entities will disappear. Well, it's you, it's your soul, it's your aura. It's not the silver cord that will push away these beings. It's you. So regardless your silver cord is attached or not attached anymore, it's still you, okay? So you have still your very own free will. So you would have to set the intention of, I want to receive what I want for my highest good. Now, if I want to think a little bit negative, sometimes it's necessary, I would assume that then whatever is in front of me would disappear. And then immediately whoever needs to appear in reality would, yes, appear in front of you. You would assume again if you wanted, shooting more energy, like I send you white light, I send you love, I only want to receive love in exchange, I allow no more. But, already it's hard for the first one to disappear, especially if you don't cross over with fear. This is why fear of death is so dangerous, because fear of death will make you cross over fearful, and that will take you precisely to those things that could try to trick you, But if you are peaceful about it, you don't worry about it, you are there, you see your guide, oh, awesome, that's my guide, well, let's make sure of that, boom, here, love and light. And then it will say, yes, it is me, and then you would continue, you would be moving forward from here, I feel that once you have connected with this being of light that truly comes to connect with you and to pick you up, once you have identified the right one and you have evoked the loss of the free will, then from here, most likely, you're going to go what I call the healing rooms, okay? And I have perceived this because sometimes, by working with people, it happened to be that a certain familiar in spirit would cross over, render unavailable, only having the guides coming, from this person and say, hey, this person is going through a cleansing from his or her former physical life. It will be followed by you gotta wait, but the healing rooms, they have no linear time like everything else in the astral plane. And in here, I haven't found any balance between a soul being very good and being there a short time, or having a difficult lifetime and being there a long time. There is no, it should be more beyond our understanding, our soul agreements, etc. Okay, but we can perceive it as a period of time that we are hanging in there. Okay, but it will depend on every soul, because I have experience, like for us, like 1-2 days, and then they come out, it's like, wow, already, and they communicate like really good, and then others that spend months, but there is nothing, don't confuse this with purgatory or anything like that, because it has nothing to do. It's sort of a place where the soul will heal and will lift off from the weights of physical life in order to be able to, from a point without human ego, and yes, love, analyze all of the life happenings. And we're going to talk about this a little bit more, and about how to revoke fear to death once we are back from a little break.
Are you your story? Or can you change your story? Can you change what you believe to be true about yourself and your circumstances as part of your healing journey? What if you were to change your expectations? What if you were to invite ease and cooperation into every day, and then step back and see what happens? It might just be easier. I'm Megan Edge, and I hope that you'll join me on my new radio show, Playing on the Edge, Radical Change with Ease, with my co-host Dr. Pat, on Transformation Talk Radio. I look forward to seeing you there.
Want to find out more about Megan Edge? Visit her website at meganedge.ca.
Are you ready to shift your current beliefs about death, from debilitating pain and loss? Follow Angie Corbett-Kuiper as she shares that through choice, present moment awareness, and keeping an open mind that anything is possible, even in death. Tune in to Beyond Proof Radio with Angie, redefining death and loss, every first and third Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. For more, visit AngieCorbettKuiper.com.
Stuck in a roundabout of dysfunction? Learn how to speak your truth to power with host Dr. Kathy Obear. Create real change with smart tools and smart strategies. No frills, no fluff, just life-changing conversations to help get you where you want to be. Extend your reach and become an agent for real change with Kathy Obear. For more information on Kathy and her work, please visit drkathyobear.com. That's drkathyobear.com.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
If you're dealing with fear and anxiety, you've probably noticed that the more you fight these emotions, the stronger they seem to get. Dr. Friedemann Schaub, the author of The Fear and Anxiety Solution, explains that instead of suppressing, we need to identify and resolve the deeper subconscious root causes of fear and anxiety. His personal breakthrough program has helped thousands worldwide to overcome their emotional challenges. To learn more, visit theFearAndAnxietySolution.com and schedule your free consultation with Dr. Schaub now.
Welcome back to the Astral Insider. So, we were talking about the healing rooms. We're talking about this process I feel that we all are going to be facing upon our time to cross over, okay? So, in the healing rooms, eventually a spirit comes out. The loved one in the spirit sort of comes out for our understanding. And in this moment, I believe that the spirit is prepared to interact or to solve or to comply whatever desires that soul has remaining from this lifetime. When we say, oh yeah, Grandma is watching, yes, most likely, Grandma might be watching, because if it's possible that she told you, I'm always going to watch over you. And then, it arrives at that time, and after the healing rooms and everything, she will say, well, I am not ready to reincarnate because my beloved granddaughter is here. And then they can become a spirit guide, they can become a helper, or yes, a loved one watching over you. In fact, or also in my blog at fernando.space, you can find a blog entry about loved ones who become spirit guides. Maybe a mom, maybe a grandfather, maybe a aunt, or maybe even can be a friend, a dear friend, okay? That for whatever reason, they cross over and they turn out to be your spirit guides. I have learned through readings that the spirits learn things in there, okay? They progress, they learn how to interact more with this physical plane when they need to. And not all spirits communicate the same way. Some, it's like a soft connection, it would be like fiber optics, electricity today. And, some spirits connect when Edison plugged the first light bulb, boom, it was like a lot of blasting of electricity, most probably, And it's the same, it's like, whoa, they overwhelm your crown chakra because they are learning to communicate. So there is consciousness. This proves that there is consciousness once we leave the physical vessel behind, okay? And then from here, I would assume already that the soul will decide whether to reincarnate at some point in this planet or go to a different planet or to remain in a higher plane of existence, that you remain sort of in a state of bliss and joy. Once I had a similar dream. Okay, I had a dream where a huge building would collapse and it would end up dying. And to go more to the topic itself, it was similar to this process. Not the same, but somewhat similar. And there were no healing rooms. There was just myself wandering around Earth, and then kind of like saying, "No, I'm going to go to space." And it was it was an lucid dream, so I really bought it. I really bought it. Like, oh, whoops, I didn't made it. So it's like you feel like, okay, like you can plan what is next. It's like you finish a huge project in your professional life, in your job, a huge project. Like you finish a building, you have a lot of money and you wanted to build a building, and finally the building is built and you feel so awesome. Well, you multiply that for maybe 1 million, and possibly it's still short. And, that also will depend on many, but at least in my dream, it was that experience. That doesn't mean that I am looking forward for death or that this life sucks or whatever. Not really, because, one important aspect to revoke the fear of death is to precisely finding a greater balance in the here and now of this very life, for both the good things that you brought to you for this existence and for the bad things. As bad as they can be, they're also some ones that they can get as good as they can be. And you need to find a balance between that. Okay? So something that also will help a lot to revoke the fear of death. It's pondering a lot on precisely what we have been talking about, seeing how it applies true for you, because this is not yet another sermon, that any random religious person wants to give. In here, I'm encouraging you to ponder on this, see how it applies to you. If something doesn't apply or doesn't resonate, just discard it and hold what is important, because in the end, your free will and your highest good is what will prevail above everything, because it is how it goes now. In fact, pondering on the above is very significant. I am sure you all know that shamans, do ponder a lot to death, to points that they go through these experiences about death and rebirth, by rituals, by doing many, many things. We are not going to get into that because it's a whole different topic already. But as you can see, it wouldn't be the first time that we would try to get some wisdom about what it would be, death. Something that you can actually do, okay, that it could be helpful for you and it will feel more unique to yourself and more yours, okay? It's precisely to ask for guidance in how to deal with death while you are experiencing an astral projection. As I shared earlier today, you can seek for guidance in the astral plane while you are there. So you can ask to be guided about death, about what you would need to do, about how can you approach, I honestly haven't asked that in the astral plane because I feel connected with precisely what I'm sharing, but it feels to me that there is necessity for knowing that if you can do that, and if you can find good progress and good understanding and good feelings with whatever you receive, then go for it. As long as it contributes to revoking any fear or any doubt about it, So as you can see, there is no need to fear, with having awareness. It's normal for everyone to fear the unknown. There is nothing bad with that, and death is quite a huge unknown with no turning back. But still, the more knowledge we can gain from that unknown, the easier it's going to make the transition. Something I can assure you is that it is our little brains that can handle such knowledge, but our souls have already experienced that. And right now, maybe you could be wondering, yeah, right, but what? True. But your soul, once you are there, you can be assured of this also. Sort of like you wear your seatbelt in the car and you know that you have that security, that you're not going to jump off the glass, okay? It's the same. You can have the security that your soul at some degree will know what to do, will feel it familiar, and it will be something as mundane as walking your dog or going to work or whatever, even though it's hard to believe right now. In the end, it's going to be like that. And I do hope that with all the information I shared with you guys today, it can help, okay? And like I said, you can find more information in my website, Fernando.space, as I do like to share a lot about this topic. So you can now go ahead and find your own wisdom or ponder on this information, as well as starting to use more astral projection for a tool to bring guidance to you and for others, okay? So now it's time to get your astral hands dirty. So set aside some time every day, follow everything you have learned today, and you will be out of your body in no time and fearless of death as well. So thank you very much and see you at the next show.
You've been listening to the Astral Insider Show with Fernando Albert. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you'll join us every second and fourth Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com for this incredible hit show, as Fernando takes calls from listeners across the globe to open the portal for personal transformation on an incredible journey to discover an infinite world of curiosities and techniques. This amazing call-in show provides answers to many of life's questions from one of the best, Fernando Albert. For more information on Fernando and his work, or to book your session with him, visit FernandoAlbert.com or Fernando.space. Oh, and don't forget to listen to Fernando's past shows. That's FernandoAlbert.com.